have a king who rides a donkey. We have a king who rides a donkey, and his name is Jesus. Jesus, the king is...
Hello everybody. This is a picture about Palm Sunday, when Jesus rode into Jerusalem and all the people were so happy to see him, they waved the palm branches as they cheered him. To make the donkey move and the branches wave, I'm using levers and linkages, and I'm going to show you how to make your own moving picture, one step at a time. I'm going to start by showing you how the picture's made up. Now this is a picture of the street of Jerusalem where Jesus rode along. You'll see at the bottom of the picture there are two rectangles. Those are to show us where we're going to stick our little bridges that we're going to make a little later on. They go on like that. One there and one there. And there are also two little dots which will be holes so we know where to put the palm branches as they wave. These are the palm branches. We've got two pairs. We're going to cut these out and we're going to stick them on the card, not with glue, but with a split pin. That split pin will go through this hole here and then through the hole in the card where the street scene is. That's a split pin. When we've poked it through the hole, we'll bend back these two pieces of the split pin and it will hold it together. Okay, so there's one here and one there. This hole and this hole will be sticking it with another split pin onto a lever. I'll show you that in a minute. Now this is Jesus riding on the donkey. There he is. And this bit here is what we use to stick it onto the lever so that he will move backwards and forwards. You remember I told you about the bridges. There we are. These are what we cut out to make the bridges. And that's what they'll look like when we've cut them out and folded them. And you see? A little bridge. Last of all, there are two pieces of card. One's longer than the other. This one here, the longest one, that is our lever. And that split pin goes through that hole and through the palm leaves. One on the right and one on the middle. And as we move this up backwards and forwards, the palm leaves will wave backwards and forwards. This piece of card goes on top of the two little bridges I told you about. We stick it on the two little bridges and then this group of people goes on top and it stops it sagging in the middle. Alright? So let's have a look at the picture again and we'll take it to pieces bit by bit so you can see how it all goes together. Here's the picture and you can see my hand moving the lever backwards and forwards to make Jesus move along the road and the palm branches to wave. So let's take the people off. Below the people you can see the piece of card which supports the people and stops the picture sagging in the middle. That will be glued on to the two little bridges I told you about. Can you see there where they're stuck onto the two markings that were on the paper I showed you, the two rectangles? The lever goes backwards and forwards. This one here is the split pin that goes through the leaves and into the picture. And you fold the split pin back at the back of the picture when you've poked that through. It's fixed, that one. And this one is fixed too. You put the split pin through and it comes out at the back of the picture. This split pin goes through the hole that's on the lever. Because that's fixed and that's fixed, it won't move, but the other two will, because they're fixed to the lever that's moving. And Jesus is stuck on the back of this lever so that the leaves don't get in the way when they go backwards and forwards. We don't want them scratching the donkey, do we? If they get caught on the donkey when you've finished, just lift it up a little and smooth it so it curves upwards, and that will stop it catching on the donkey's face and on Jesus. All right? So remember, when you're cutting out the palm leaves, make sure you leave just a little wider border so it makes it stronger. Cut all the way around. You'll probably notice that the left-hand pair of palm leaves is longer than ones on the right. That's because that goes on the left-hand side of the picture. So we put the split pin through, onto the lever, and bend the split pin back. Then the next split pin goes into the next palm leaf when we've cut it out onto there. When we've got both of the pairs of palm leaves attached with the pins, we glue Jesus onto the back of the lever where the little markings are on the card that you see, and then it's ready to go onto the picture for the split pins to go through the card picture. So we stick Jesus onto the back so he doesn't poke through the bottom there. And when he's stuck on, we go back to the picture and use the split pins to go through the palm leaves into the back of the card. And pull down the split pin so that it holds it tight. Now you can see the beginnings of the first movement, and the second one goes into that hole there. So we put the split pin through the bottom hole, turn it over and bend the split pin back, and you've got the levers making the movement. And the last thing of all is cut the bridges out, fold them and stick them with glue over the lever. So when you've used glue on both the bridges and they're nice and dry, you stick your support on top of the bridges, and when that's nice and dry, you stick the people onto that card, and you've got your finished picture. The other thing is, of course, before you start, you need to colour it in. It'll be difficult to colour it all in once it's put together. So before you cut anything out, do all your colouring in, and then when that's done, you can start to cut it out and put it together. You can colour it in however you want to. That's up to you. I hope it all works out well for you. Good luck.
What shall we do with our life this morning? What shall we do with our life this morning? What shall we do with our life this morning? Give it up in service. Jesus, the King is risen. Jesus, the King is risen. Jesus, the King.